Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with me,
Hello.
and we're gonna be reading your unpopular opinions while we're blazing that trail, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, let's go do it.
Yes, let's go, guys. Oh my god.
The first unpopular opinion. I have personally never liked how grindy the pads are in Hollow Woods. It just feels like way too much and it's a lot to take in.
Hmm.
I don't know what grindy means, but like, I think they meant
I
windy.
no. I
Oh
think
no,
they
wait!
meant
The
like
pads, the Okay,
the
I'm
paths
here.
of terror and stuff. Yeah.
I'm here. Honestly, I agree. I haven't finished them yet, and I'm level 25.
Same.
Um,
And I was like inactive for 2 years, and then I logged on, and I was like, what the heck is all this stuff?
that's
Like,
so real.
I just feel like it's a lot to process, and like I don't know like how to tackle it. I don't know like how to start or like
Yeah, I feel like it also came out at like Christmas time when they first introduced the grinding for Christmas when we had to get the snowflakes. And I
Mhm.
just feel like that was a bad time to come out because we were already grinding for snowflakes. And then I just like was so tired of that I just never started Valedale.
Yeah.
But
I'm like
now,
shocked that people have finished it all. I'm like, how?
same. Like 2 years later, and I'm like, still not done. I'm almost done though.
I'm nowhere near finished. It's fine.
It's
It's
fine.
fine.
Everything's fine. It's fine. I like the like stuff you can get from it though, like the earrings and such, the hair.
Yeah, I love the druid earrings.
So worth, but kind of annoying that like some of the stuff costs star coins. Like we worked hard and then we had to spend light to unlock it and then we have to buy it with star coins. Are we
Yeah.
for real? So the second unpopular opinion is that flat shows are so boring with 3 exclamation points.
Okay.
And you know what? I can't even comment because I've never done one before.
Yeah, I hadn't done one, and then a person from our club asked if I wanted to do one, and it's actually really fun. I think if you do it with someone, because I was like kind of judgmental in the start. I was like, "What do you mean you're running around and like doing nothing for like 30 minutes?"
Yeah.
But I feel like it can be fun if you like don't try too hard.
Okay, I could see
Yeah.
that. I've been wanting to do one, but like, I don't know. I used to do shows in real life, and I feel like I'm gonna just apply those rules to the flat show, and I don't feel like
Yeah.
learning more rules, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people are very harsh, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like it's not that serious.
Yeah. But I guess there will always be those kind of people, so.
The third unpopular opinion, Star Stable should add more coats of the Icelandic horses. Oh my god, I can't race, hello. In parentheses, Palomino, Dapple, Silver Bay, Dapple, etc. Like, I'm okay with that. I don't know, I don't hate that.
I feel
I'm
like it's
neutral.
unrealistic for them to do that,
Yeah, that's fair.
or you know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
don't really know because they are releasing new coats, but I don't know why I don't see that happening. But I understand that you would want that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're gonna be focusing more on like releasing new horses,
Yeah.
but also, I don't know, those variations sound pretty and I probably would buy. So maybe they shouldn't release that because I need to save my star coins.
Yeah. True. That's so real.
The next one is I actually really like the new characters, but I really wish the one starter hairstyle still had the voluminous curtain bangs. The hairstyle looks so flat and greasy now. Frick, I cannot steer and read.
I have no idea which one they're talking about.
I don't either. I don't know.
No clue.
I don't have an opinion because
But yes,
I
you're
I
probably right.
yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. I like the new characters, but like I want more hairstyles. Like I want longer hairstyles.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that'd be so pretty, but
And
okay.
more like variation in the hair types and stuff would be really nice.
Yeah, like some curly hairstyles would be so cute.
Hmm.
I never clocked that there's not different ones, but you're so right.
I mean, they're like dreads and stuff, but
That's true. That's true.
I don't think they're very popular, to be honest.
Yeah, same. They're cute though. The next one, I'm upset that they didn't do anything with the fridge doors shaped like a star. And I so strongly agree with that.
Yes.
I think about that every time I pass one, like, what happened?
They just kind of neglected storyline, and I feel like most old players are upset about that. And
Yeah.
I just, as someone who has made an alt account like now when everything has changed, it's insane how different it is. And just like, I can't imagine being a new player and like not knowing what it used to be and how amazing it was, and just comparing it to now, the storyline.
I completely agree. It's kind of been hard growing up with that for me because it started off like with one storyline and they've changed it so much. Like I don't really understand the story. Like
Same.
yeah. Who the heck group invited me? Oh.
Me. Because in case I lose you.
Yeah. I'm gonna run away from you, actually.
Don't do that, please.
Okay, the next one. SSO should revisit old storylines because it would add content to the game. Secondly, they should focus on finishing up unfinished storylines. We were literally just talking about that.
Yeah, that's like what I said. I think almost like the entire game agrees with this, and just like there was a lot of potential, and that's not to say that they still can't do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I think most people won't, to be honest.
I agree. And if they don't, they're probably kids. And
Yeah.
who gave them an opinion anyways? Just kidding.
Real.
It's fine. Okay, the next one. Oh my gosh. This is such a common one. I feel like Star Stable is becoming boring. T. Personally, I don't know. Like, I don't really agree. I go in and out of my phases. And like, this has been said on so many channels, like,
Probably only think it's boring because you're not a kid anymore, blah blah blah.
like, I don't really feel like rehashing what everyone has said a million times. I don't think Star Stable is boring, but I also have a shopping addiction, and that's mostly what I do on here, so...
Yeah, I feel like the game has definitely shifted into like a very, buy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know what to call that, but I feel like the most fun thing at the moment is buying horses.
Yeah.
Which is a bit, you know.
I agree. I'm excited for the upcoming festival because it's going to be something new. Whereas, like, the summer ones we've had for so long are just all the same. But I enjoy the festivals in general.
I agree.
The next one, oh my gosh, wait. I think
What?
I submitted this one to you.
Oh.
I hate the North Swedish horses, including the Druid horse. Like, just ew. They're so ugly. I don't want to get the Druid horse literally because of that. I wonder who said that. That's so weird.
Kind of sounds familiar.
Gosh,
No,
this person is just so real for that. Like, I completely agree. The freaking Druid horse is ugly. North Swedish horses are so ugly. Get them away from me.
They look deformed. I don't know why.
Like, their coats are cute, and if they just don't move, they're cute. But they do
Yeah, I
move,
agree.
and therefore they're not cute.
I feel like the Gen 1 North Swedish is better, or like Gen 1.5, I don't know, is better than the Gen 3.
I don't
And I'm
remember what
gonna
they look like, but I'm gonna
That's my hot
support you.
take.
I'm gonna support you on
Yeah.
that one.
That's my hot take.
Okay, the next one. I love that SSO is redesigning and revamping characters, but sometimes they take out all the personality and styles that made the character them. I completely agree with this, especially with like the Soul Riders or whatever. They used to have
Yeah, and the Dark Riders.
Yeah,
Like Katja and stuff. Like, her concept was so cool, and they just made her into this soulless, depressed character that like seems like she doesn't want to be here.
That's so true, bro. The only
And-
one that I really like is the Arissa. She's really cute.
I have no idea who that is. Who
The
is
one
that?
with like the dolls.
Oh yeah, the new one.
Yeah, she's cutesy, but I don't know what the concept was for her, so I can't really like
Her design
judge
is
that.
really interesting. Yeah, it's definitely different. I feel like something I've noticed about the characters, especially the NPCs, is that we're like triple the size.
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And we just look like really weird compared to the whole rest of the game.
I completely agree with that. Ugh, okay,
Oh, bless you.
thank you. The new medieval races are kind of boring and not much to do.
I love the one that cleans the paint.
Wait, I love that one too.
It's like one of my favorite races because I feel like it's so satisfying and nostalgic for some reason.
Oh my god, I completely agree with that. But I've heard some
Yeah.
hate for that race.
Like, why?
Literally.
It was like one of the, well, I understand this is probably because it was new, but one of the medieval races was like one of the most popular ones.
Really?
Like the SSO did like a, they do like a thingy where they see who does the most
Yeah.
of something or like buys one specific coat and stuff.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. Like, I wouldn't have expected it to be one of the popular ones, but like, I don't understand the hate. Like, I think the jumps are cute.
No.
The only thing that I don't like is that they take like 2 minutes each to do.
Yeah.
That's a
But I
bit
feel
too
like
long.
there are worse races
Yeah, like the new Hillcrest one.
in the game. Yeah.
I despise that one with everything that I have. And SSO feels really Americanized in my opinion, and the game has totally lost its Scandinavian feel. As a Scandinavian player, I really miss Midsummer and such that are no longer really represented. I feel like I was just talking about this with someone. I completely agree. Like, I miss the Midsummer Festival, and I hope that they're bringing part of that back with this upcoming festival this year.
I mean, as someone, because I'm Danish, and as a Scandinavian player, I've definitely seen a lot of change ever since SSO was sold.
Yeah.
It feels like it's kind of lost its charm in a lot of ways, and it's just starting to look a lot like other games.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, stuff like Midsummer stuff, it isn't really represented, like, in general in games. Like, there aren't a lot of games with, like, a Scandinavian feel.
Yeah.
You know, Sims 4 just did, like, a whole world based on Scandinavia, and it's, like, really cool to see it just, like, in games that you play, because I feel like people kind of forget we exist
Yeah.
at times. And
Wait.
especially Americans, you're like,
Someone just spoke European to me.
it's like, what do you mean? But yeah, that's my opinion on that.
I didn't know that Sims did that. That's actually amazing.
Yeah, I know.
I love that. And yeah, I definitely feel like SSOs become Americanized, even though they're like nowhere based in America. Like, I don't know how they're getting this American vibe, but whatever.
The biggest server, I'm pretty sure, in the entire game is North America.
Yeah, I feel like
Like
Nightstar is
server?
amongst the most popular ever. Okay, this one is really long, and I fear I will be crashing everywhere, but it's okay.
It's fine, it's fine.
It's fine. They said.
I'll crash with you.
Oh, thanks, Queen. I'm disappointed in Star Stable's lack of moderation for their in-game chat. Their target audience is— oh, hold on, I'm crashing. Hold please. Their target audience is minors, yet Star Stable players of ages are exposed to the disgusting things said in chat every day. Parents are also responsible for supervising their kids when online, but Star Stable also has a responsibility to keep their customers safe. And in my opinion, players shouldn't be upset about horse gaits or weird models/animations. We should be talking about things that are actually important first. Aesthetics can wait. Okay.
Okay, there are two facets to this, I feel. Let's start with their first opinion.
Yes. I have conflicting feelings about this. Personally, the moderation for their in-game chat is like a bit much sometimes, in my opinion. Like, you can't say like basic things, and that frustrates me, but I'm also an adult. So like, I don't know. I don't like—
It's not the end of the world.
yeah, like, I dislike the lack of freedom, but also I understand that maybe more moderation is important for younger ages, because I have seen some freaking crazy things being said. So like,
I don't even like read global chat or anything, so I can't really speak on this topic, but I've heard people say some crazy stuff is said in global chat and stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, I understand. I miss the hashtags because
Yes.
when I'm sending mail to people and I don't know what the issue is in the stuff I'm writing, it's just kind of frustrating.
Absolutely, I relate
Because
to
like
that.
you
Yeah.
don't know what you're saying that is wrong, and that's why people come up with these solutions that can just uncensor a whole message, even though it's, you know, inappropriate.
Yeah.
So
I completely agree with that. I also will say that I've seen people in chat like standing up to the people who are abusing the chat filter and like finding ways around it. But I mean, I'm in a smaller server, so it's easier for people to do that and it not get lost in global, or for other people to like join in. Other than that, I don't really read chat, so I don't have much of an opinion. I guess I don't really care. And then the second part of this being, players shouldn't be upset about horse gaits or weird model/animations. We should be talking about things that are actually important first. I'm interested to know what your opinion is on like what else is important. Yeah, I get the chat thing, but like what else to you do you mean? Because to me, like, I think that they should be working on fixing bugs and like the playability of the game. Like, we're at Steve's farm right now, and that tractor thing in the field has been stuck for like 4 years, but like they haven't fix that, I feel like that'd be an easy fix considering the other ones work. So just things like that rather than like adding in new horse breeds and like stuff like that. But I don't know if that's what they meant by important. What are your thoughts?
I guess a tractor isn't really, that important, but yeah, I don't really know what else could be like, I guess, important enough to focus on.
Yeah.
But I feel like saying that, they shouldn't focus that much on gates and stuff is wrong. In a sense that, what was I talking about? No, because you're paying for a product, and of course you want that product to be of quality. Because, like, star coins are expensive in this, in this economy, So if they're releasing a product, of course people are gonna complain.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be someone who complains, but sometimes it's very valid. Because, like I said before, I feel like this game has turned into a very buy game.
Yeah.
And if that's the point of the game, then the product has to be good.
That's literally what I was just gonna say, is that like if Star Stable is going to put all of their time into releasing new products, it at least should be good. And yeah, there's always gonna be people who don't like something, but like you never know until you speak up.
Literally.
Hey, I would just be interested to know what they think else is like important that should come first, and then like I feel like that would be a continued discussion. So I feel like this isn't an unpopular opinion, but like I'm just interested to know more.
Yeah, what they mean.
Yeah. Okay, the next one, TBH, the weekly updates need to stop. I'd be happy with a larger update once a month that was actually good and made me want to play the game more, instead of mini updates once a week that bring next to nothing to the game. Most of the weekly updates seem rushed too, so they could actually take their time on the updates if they did them monthly instead. I feel like that's not an unpopular opinion.
No.
Maybe because I agree with that opinion, but I agree.
Yeah, I actually have some thoughts on this, because,
Oh, do share.
SSO has, I'm pretty sure they have always done weekly updates.
Mm-hmm.
So even though maybe the majority of players would want like monthly updates instead, it would be like a very big change to just suddenly boil it down to once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to consider that like SSO have been coming out with, and they can speak and say they're going to do this and that, but they have been saying that, they're working on quests, and I feel like it's gotten better, and they're actually like willing to communicate about what they're trying to do with the game. So yeah, I get it, but honestly I agree, because some updates are just the bazaar, and it's like, it's always just a money grab, I feel.
Yeah, like the bazaar has definitely become a monthly thing. It came out because of Black Friday, and I thought, wow, that's so cool that they're doing something for Black Friday. But then it didn't stay that way, and now it's monthly, and I don't love that. But honestly, like, yeah, Star Stable has been doing the weekly updates since they started, and I think that's a really good selling point if you can manage that. And I don't feel like they are managing it.
Yeah, maybe not to like the full extent that they could be.
Yeah, like if they could...
'Cause, like, if you consider like how huge the game is, and that it's the biggest horse MMO in like the world,
Yeah.
it definitely, they have a lot of stuff they could, do better on, but then in the end, like, I'm sure they are also, trying to deliver the best they can.
I agree, and I'm not trying to like poo-poo Star Stable. Like, I think overall they're doing a good job, and like I feel like I'm giving off a negative vibe about Star Stable, and I'm not trying to, because I love Star Stable.
I don't think you do. So.
Okay, good.
But
yeah, I do feel like if they needed to move to monthly so that they could take the time to fix the bugs, and that like when they release new things there would be less bugs, and like just fixing quality of life things rather than adding new stuff, I feel like I would be okay with that as like a long-term player, as an old player. I don't need weekly updates. I need quality updates.
Yeah, I agreed. Yeah.
The next one is a short one. Sometimes people are way too critical when horses come out, aka the gaits, coats, etc.
Yeah, we touched on this a little.
Yeah, and I'm crashing, and I wasn't even reading. I feel like people are going to be critical no matter what, and sometimes it's valid, in my opinion, and sometimes it's not. Personally, I'm not too tough on like the coats and stuff like that. I don't really care. I'm just happy to be here.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I guess sometimes people are too critical.
I feel like if a new horse comes out, it's like almost impossible for you to hate like every single one of the coats.
Yes.
And if you hate the base model, you know, that's fair.
Right.
Sometimes
But they don't
aren't the
all have to be
greatest,
your
but-
favorite.
Yeah, exactly. Because like,
Yeah.
no way you don't like at least one of the horses in the game.
And I feel like with the
So-
horses they've recently been coming out with, the models have been pretty good. Like, I don't really have
Yeah.
many complaints.
Like the Hanoverian was like such a hit. You know, it just goes to show if you compare like new horses to old horses, the quality has really increased. And I feel like people are forgetting how far the game has come in that sense.
Yeah, I'm being blown up on Discord right now.
Oh.
Oh, I just saw one that I'm not gonna enjoy reading.
Oh,
Okay. My unpopular opinion is that people get way too crazy about clubs. Some of these people out here running a dressage club like it's a sorority. Why do we need applications and interviews, voice calls, LMFAO, count me out?
hey, no.
Yeah, literally, here's the microphone, babe. You take it.
Yeah, take the floor. No, actually take over the whole channel.
Take over the whole channel. You can have it. I completely agree with this opinion. I feel like you said my entire opinion, basically. Personally,
Yeah.
with my club, it's a hangout club, and I made sure to tell people that I'm busy AF. I really shouldn't own a club in the first place, and you can join it if you feel like,
You can handle the heat.
aka me not being there at all.
AKA everybody else trying to keep the club afloat. No, I'm
No,
kidding.
literally. Literally.
No, but I agree. It's like, dude, it's like a whole freaking job interview almost. Like, sorry, jump scare, I know.
Yeah.
Trigger warning, but it's just like, I understand if you have like a lot of members, and I guess some clubs probably have like extra clubs. So in that sense, I would understand. But if you're like 15, 20 members and you're like trying to make it this whole ordeal, and also just people in freaking chat beefing about which club has more members, like
Yeah.
it's freaking elementary school. Like, I mean, I guess some players are, I don't know, in elementary school,
Yeah.
but sometimes it all feels like a lot. Like in the end, it's just a horse game, and I understand that some people want to take it very seriously, and you know, you do you.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to join in.
I mean,
I'm staying out.
I understand the need for like applications and like interviews, I guess, especially if it were a more big club. Mine isn't even that big, but I still wanted to make sure like they were 18 plus, which was a requirement, and like that they understood what it meant if they were to be a part of my club. So I see the need for that, but like it wasn't an extensive application or anything. It was literally a DM.
Just
and-
like tell me about yourself. And,
Yeah.
You know.
yeah. Someone asked me if they needed to show me their ID, and I was like, no, like,
Oh my god.
I trust you, but it's crazy that like some people require that.
It's crazy.
Crazy? I was crazy once.
They locked me in a room.
A
A
rubber
rubber
room.
room with rats.
Okay, the next one. I like that SSO retires horses because you need to get rid of the old in order to make space for the new. Whoever you
Oh my
are,
God.
get away from my channel.
I think Loki, I wrote that for myself.
Shut! You did not!
Shut the front door.
Shut
yes,
the
I
front
did.
door. No, get your band. Get out.
And imagine it's not me and I'm just taking credit. No, I think like I actually wrote one. So
I hate that you wrote that and that's your opinion. That's like, I completely disagree.
what?
Yeah, I don't like that they're
Really?
getting rid of them. And then they're stopping like fixing the bugs on them too. Like that's too far.
Yeah, I feel like they should be like retrofitting at least, because it's annoying like having to buy old tech just to ride old horse.
Yeah, and then eventually the old tack is gonna start bugging, or the old horses are gonna start bugging, and they're not gonna fix it, and then they're gonna become unrideable. So it's like I'm spending all of this money to get the retired horses before they leave, and then eventually they're gonna be unrideable. Like that's devastating to me because I love the old horses. They're so ugly. It's cute. Like
I mean,
need
I
them.
definitely, I hope they don't like just like neglect them, and I honestly I doubt they will, because they are making a lot of sales on them. Maybe SSO should do like because I know I'm talking about tech a lot, but I was struggling making this outfit. So, uh, but I feel like they should release like a retro tech collection or something like a market, like old horse market, and people who missed out could like buy them or something.
I agree. Like, I
Because
think
imagine the old
there's...
fjords.
Oh, I would die to have one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like there's a better way to go about it, and if we have to get rid of the old horses, it's fine. There's just better ways, and I also fear that, like, they're gonna be unwritable, and I obviously don't want that.
Yeah, I get that.
But otherwise, I guess your opinion is somewhat valid. Okay, the next one is so true. The Connemara's are one of the cutest horses in the game. I agree with that. What? They're so cute. Like,
They're
all the other
weird.
ponies, like, they're cute, but they kind of all look the same. At
Wait,
least
they're a pony?
I don't know if they count.
Wait,
but,
yeah. Oh, no, yeah, they are.
But
At least
IRL,
in
they're
real life.
ponies. Yeah. I love them. They're cute.
I don't know a lot about ponies. I don't even think I have one, so I can't really speak on this.
Oh. Okay, fine. Moving on then. AFKing is weird and unnecessary.
Yeah,
Sure, yeah. I'm okay with that.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
The only reason I would AFK is if I'm editing and I need to like go get a picture or something, it's just easier to be in game.
In game, yeah.
But other than that, I don't see the point of like AFKing at Steve's. Like,
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean, because it's not like other games where you have like a playtime count or
Yeah.
something. So it's not, you can't even like say,
You can't
oh,
even
well, I
flex
have
about that."
3,000 hours on Star Stable. Like,
Yeah.
that's a flex, but
Yeah,
no,
right,
like,
right.
I'm not gonna sit and have my computer open just to, sit and stand around at Steve's. Like,
Yeah.
what's the point?
You're
I don't
running
get
up your
it.
energy bill.
Literally.
The Gen 3 Morgans remind me of Sid the Sloth. Okay. Thanks for sharing.
I don't even know what to say.
I think the
No.
Trailblazer track should be available for everyone, even non-star riders. I completely agree with this.
Yeah, I agree. In the end, you can buy, like, if you want specific items, you can buy them in the shop.
Yeah.
But I still feel like when it's so much work and it is a grindable thing, and you also get, like, jars of wisdom and, like, happy hoof treats and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which is
I
just
feel like
nice to
giving it
have.
to non-star riders is like not the end of the world. Like, what are they
Yeah.
gonna do with that? Not much.
Mhm.
Like, they're still gonna be enticed to get Star Rider even with that stuff, so that they can like actually use it. SSO actually has good updates, and we can't expect the game to stay the same forever. What worked a long time ago doesn't work today. Secondly, we can't, as a community, always complain about the new updates. It's exhausting, and they're doing their best. I feel like that's well said, and
Mhm.
definitely an unpopular opinion, but I agree with it.
I don't think it's unpopular in the sense that, like, I feel like people are, there will always be Instagram commenters, but I feel like people are going at this criticism stuff in, like, a wrong way. And everybody just wants to complain.
Yeah.
And, like, that's fair. I mean, complain if you want, but
I feel like their
Yeah.
criticism isn't very constructive, it's just complaining. And the
Yeah.
poor people on SSO's media team, like, stop complaining to them. They aren't
Yeah.
the ones who do anything for the game. They are just there for social media. They can't help
But then,
you.
in the end, the people who comment that probably don't know, and they're probably, like, what,
5.
13 or
Yeah.
something? So,
And the next one ties into this. In all caps, it says, change is needed. Yeah, it is needed.
because if the game didn't change, we wouldn't have all these new, amazing horses in the game. Like, these updated models that look so much better than the
Mhm.
old ones. Like, I feel like people forget that there are, like, many facets to the fact that the game has changed.
Yeah,
And
I
are
definitely...
looking at it in the wrong way.
Yeah, I definitely miss the old game. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But also, it simply would not survive in today. Games are evolving so much, and Star Stable needs to evolve too in order for them to make money and stay afloat. And yeah, I miss the old things, but like, if Star Stable was the same, I probably honestly wouldn't play it.
I'm going a bit out on a tangent here, but I feel like it's like the same thing with like TV shows and stuff that is directed towards children. And we know SSO has started to, create their game towards children. But like just like the whole style and stuff, you can like tell that it's different. Things are looking different and things are animated different. So of course a game is going to do that to keep, appealing to the audience that they're trying to appeal to.
Yeah. Now, do I agree it should be catered to children?
No.
But that's a whole different
No.
topic.
Yeah.
We don't need to get into that. Oh my gosh, this next one literally says, I feel like SSO should cater their age group to teens instead of kids. Yes, I agree.
Exactly.
That is all, thank you.
Yes.
I can't remember if I wrote this or not, but it says, I love every generation of the Frisians, and I love whoever wrote this because I do too.
I don't love the Gen 3s. I haven't even bought one.
Oh.
And that's all I have to say about that.
That's okay. Star Stable is not only about clubs or groups. I agree, but
Who said that it was? This is
Yeah, exactly. But I get that like some people make it that, but that's their business and they can do what they want.
there's so many different things to do on Star Stable. If you don't want to be a part of that, don't.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, clubs can be amazing and clubs can be horrible. It just all depends on what kind of people you talk to.
I really don't get the hype with the winter beanies, the ones from Dino and the Aviator ones, not the regular beanies. They're really cute, don't get me wrong, and I love them as an item, but when they're used in every single outfit, I get so tired of seeing it. It becomes the only hat you see on people in game.
LOL.
I don't feel like they're that overused.
They definitely used to be, but I feel like SSO made them so ugly on the new characters that nobody uses them, and maybe I'm projecting.
A freaking moth just flew into my
Ugh. I really want the Connemara's to get updated. They came out in 2017 and still haven't gotten an update. I feel like I want all of the early Gen 3 ones to be updated, but
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But still, I understand they have to start with older horses.
Oh yeah, for sure. I understand it
But
too.
you can tell there's the difference between old Gen 3s and new Gen 3s, definitely.
Yeah, I wish they'd call the new Gen 3s like Gen 3.5.
Yeah.
Because it's such an obvious difference. Like, why? I don't understand what the opposition is to that, but whatever. The new Star Stable ads are really sad. Okay. What do you mean by this? Like,
Yeah, no, because I've gotten Star Stable ads on TikTok and stuff, and it's just like, you can tell this person has never played the game. And it's
Yeah.
like,
You can have 2 horses and care for them and train them.
then again, it's like, they're catered to kids. They're ads because kids are who they want to play the game. So,
yeah.
of course, you're probably not a child, so that's probably why you think that. Because it's not, meant to appeal to you, so.
I
Yeah.
guess that's true. YouTubers who do Starcoin shopping sprees are bragging. You should probably not watch this video or any of my other videos then. I feel like that's not true. Personally, a lot of YouTubers fund their star coins from their YouTube channel, and I think that's fine. Also, who cares? Like,
Yeah, let people do with their money what they will. And that
yeah.
goes a bit against what I said earlier, but like in the end, it's like you don't have to watch it. So if you think
Yeah.
they're bragging, maybe you should take a look inside and like think about that for a second.
Okay, therapist me.
Sit with that thought.
Sit with that thought. Sit with that emotion. Yeah, I feel like also shopping sprees can be useful. A lot of people don't have the money to buy things, and they see other people buy it. They can see what it looks like on the character and like what it looks like in action. It's just a good way to decide if something is worth your money. So I have no
Yeah,
problem
then
with
you can like
shopping
save
sprees.
up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A lot of the dresses do not suit our characters. They always look wrong/off to me. I mostly agree with
True.
this.
No, I agree fully. I feel like almost all the clothes bad on our characters, and
Yeah.
only just recently did I start liking skirts and tops that showed my arms.
I agree with this.
Because I was like fully conservative with my outfits on this, so a year ago.
Yeah, I feel like
But-
when our old characters were a thing, the new clothes we were getting looked so good, and now those like new clothes look like trash on our new characters.
But even like the old like crusty work pants and
Mhm.
just like all the crusty clothes looked so good on the
Yeah.
old characters. It was just like 2000s goodness, but
I
it's
agree.
not the 2000s anymore. Or like,
Yeah.
well, it is, but
it's
the
not the
2020s.
2000s anymore.
It's the 2020s now.
It's the 2020s.
Things are different.
IDK, if it's an unpopular opinion, I hate the Selle Français in SSO. I don't really know why, but I think it's the movements that make me hate the horse. I even bought some of these horses, but I ended up selling them because I hated them so bad. English is not my first language. Sorry if I misspelled something. Your English 8 down. There was no mistakes.
Yeah, it was really good.
I don't love them. I don't hate them. I don't really have that many. Also, selling a horse is crazy, in my opinion.
I think their coats are good. I definitely agree with like maybe the model looks a bit weird or like the gaits and stuff. They even reduced the booty jiggliness a bit because people were complaining so much.
Boo.
I understand, but I don't think you should sell horses, and I think that's throwing money completely out the window.
I agree, but
Because in the future you could want to ride it.
Yeah.
But I understand if you like really regret a purchase. I understand that you would do that. Maybe.
yeah, personally, I wouldn't sell a horse even if I hated it. I much prefer the new chat filter older than the old filter with hashtags, and they spelled filter PHIL. So true. I disagree.
You're wrong.
Yeah. You're wrong. No, we talked about this, but it was
Yeah.
just easier with the hashtags, and that's all I need to say.
I don't like the Hanoverians, only their jump animation. Valid, I feel like the Hanoverians kind of
That's
just
fair.
look like every other horse, but I like their animations, and
It is a warm blood, so it's
Yeah,
like bound
true.
to look like that. But it's fair, you know. And yeah, that is probably a very unpopular opinion, I can imagine.
yeah. Way to go, you won this contest. Good job. People complain too much about recycled gaits. I've only seen that a little bit, and personally, I haven't really seen recycled gaits except for maybe like stop animations. It bothers me sometimes, especially on like a well-hyped horse, but most of the time, if it's done well, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care enough about gaits to care about them being recycled, and in the end, they're all horses, so like how different can they look when they walk, you know?
That's
Just because
very
like
true.
it's a different, you know, breed doesn't mean that it's gonna move very like different
Yeah.
compared to every other horse. So.
Like most warm bloods walk the same, I fear.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, this next one is a long one. The people that are so upset that SSO is changing and updating areas need to chill out. While it is sad to see these old areas that have so much nostalgia change into something unrecognizable, it needs to happen. As a player of 10 years, I do miss a lot of the older areas way back when the map was simpler. I remember back before Southhof was released. Times have definitely changed since then, but it's necessary. The game has to update to stay relevant and make money. Again, I miss the old areas that I grew up in, but I adore the newer areas.
This is understandable, and I agree.
Yeah, I agree too. As an older player, like, I really hate to see our areas grow up and change. I think it's necessary. Although sometimes I wish they could just keep the old area and make the new areas a new area. I know that's
yeah, but in the end,
unrealistic.
you know, that's yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
because the game has to look cohesive. But then we can talk about like them not changing specific stuff, like
Right.
all the NPCs and you know, crusty NPCs in new areas.
Like keeping a nod to old SSO, but like changing it. Like there's different ways that they could go about it, and that's just a whole completely different conversation that we don't have time for today.
Yeah, exactly.
This next one says, the pets and dragons especially are way too expensive and should be cheaper. I feel like I was just talking about this with someone, and I 100% agree with that. 450 star coins for a frickin' pet is actually absurd.
Insane.
I don't
Yeah,
care how
that's
good
like-
they look. Like, that's no.
That's a whole discounted horse.
Yeah.
For something that sits in a saddlebag.
Yeah.
And I understand it's like a whole different model and they do like specific animations for that, but
Yeah.
you know, in the end it's like that's a lot to pay for something that isn't like that special.
Yeah, I think the new pets look amazing, but I'm not
Yeah,
about to buy
definitely.
a discounted horse for it. Like, I'd rather buy horses that are leaving for that price.
Exactly. But you know, to each their own.
Yeah, I guess
And
so.
I understand that people want to buy them.
Yeah, I mean, no hate if you buy them. I personally can't afford that, but good for you.
Exactly. Same. Relatable.
I think the starter horses need an update.
Yes.
agree with
That's
that.
not unpopular.
Yeah.
I think that is very valid, and they looks like comparing to the fact that it's a horse everybody in game has and has to keep, and every new player it's the first thing they see, and it's just it's so mediocre. I understand in a way they have to keep it like somewhat medium to bad because otherwise people wouldn't buy.
Right.
Because it would be like, oh, it's pretty, so I can ride it.
Yeah, I definitely see the reasoning of like needing a starter horse to look bad so that people want to be Star Rider and go buy new horses, but like maybe a
They
little
need to
less
revamp
ugly.
them a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
They need just a little makeup and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. The ban wave was very necessary and people need to stop complaining if they lost their accounts to cheats. Agree. No words. Agree.
I don't think
if you got
there's not much to say.
yeah, if you got banned for like reshade, you should definitely take that up with the SSO team. That shouldn't have happened. But like other than that, the bans were very necessary and very effective.
But also comparing to the fact that a lot of people who use reshade didn't have problems is making me like second guess if people were just using this as like an excuse.
Same. Yeah.
I really doubt that SSO would like make such a huge mistake by banning a lot of people who haven't done anything wrong. So
Yeah, I agree. The Soul Riders are soulless and the Dark Riders care more about us as a person.
That is so deep, bro.
I don't even know what to say.
I kind of agree.
Yeah, honestly.
It kind of reminds me of Harry Potter,
What?
where like Dumbledore was supposed to be the good guy, but like he didn't really care about Harry at all. I feel like we are Harry and the Soul Riders are Dumbledore.
I haven't watched Harry Potter, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's a whole nother conversation we need to have.
I agree with this except for Katja because
Yeah.
she is the definition of soulless.
Yes, concur. I concur. Gameplay has not improved over the years. Only QOL updates have been incorporated, like not having to get off your horse for everything. Seeing QOL written out really just like messed me up there, and I did not comprehend what I just read. Gameplay, like what do you mean by gameplay? Like questing and stuff? I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm sorry, we don't understand what you mean.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think Star Riders should get more than 100 star coins a week. I
Yes.
agree to a certain extent. 200 is too much, in my opinion. Otherwise, inflation would happen in game too, and horses would become more expensive. If it was like 110 star coins a week, or like 120, I think that'd be a good compromise, but I don't think we should go overboard. Otherwise, it's just gonna keep happening.
Inflation is real, guys.
Yeah, in-game inflation.
Yeah.
But I also feel like people forget about, I feel like at least recently, not so much right now, but we have been getting a lot of star coin quote, which we have to remember are also usable for non-star riders. Whereas weekly star coins are only for star riders.
Yeah.
So
I completely
I
agree
feel like
with that.
it's better for them to do the codes because then everybody gets to have something. You know?
Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. But I do think that they have been releasing more star coin codes, and I think that's under talked about and underappreciated.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is simply I hate Anne. Speak your truth, queen.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd love to know why you hate Anne.
Elaborate, please.
Elaborate. Roleplays are quite silly in my opinion.
I've never understood roleplays. I can see that they could be like fun for people. Especially like maybe if you don't have horses in real life or can't
Mhm.
ride in real life.
Yes.
But I mean, people can use their imagination. So be it.
Imagination station.
Let them, you know? The let them theory.
Yes. I
Let's all
personally
live in peace.
Personally, I don't participate. They're not for me, but I can totally see maybe for a younger audience who don't have horses, or like the same thing with like flat shows. That's basically a role play in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah,
And,
it is.
yeah. While I don't see the point
I
in
mean-
that, I'm fine if other people do it.
But like there are, you know, also adult Star Stable YouTubers that do like role playing, and I mean they're getting views and
Yeah.
they're probably enjoying making it. So
It's kind of like
Uh,
creating your own movie, which I think is cool,
yeah, exactly.
but not for me.
I understand that people would think it's fun, and I
Yeah.
don't think it has to be deeper than people just do it to have fun.
Yes. This next one says, I want to see Avalon's face. I do too.
I think a lot of people do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I hope it's not the second dream face reveal.
Bro. Bro. Is he even human?
He's a druid, so I think so.
I need to know. This is the last one. I found the wardrobe update more frustrating than helpful. Like, yes, we needed more storage space, but why did Star Stable have to spread our clothes out across the sheets weirdly? It took me forever to move stuff around, and I still to this day haven't gotten around to fixing my horses, one, because I'm too lazy. I understand that, and it took me at least 4 hours to fix my wardrobe, minimum. Not even being dramatic. Like, it took forever, but I'm
That's
glad
a
that they
long
gave us more sheets.
Yeah, they gave more slots, I think.
Yeah, I
But
definitely.
I feel like something that's annoying now that wasn't an issue before is that you have to scroll. And that just kind of, like, if I have to scroll to find something, I'm gonna forget that thing exists. So I only use the slots that are visible. I feel like that just, like, why did we have to scroll, you know? Like,
Yeah,
and
but
I
then
just, like, okay,
to make up
sorry.
for that though, you'd have to have more tabs, and eventually you'd have to scroll either way. I'd rather be like scrolling down the page than like scrolling through the amount of tabs.
Yes, that's true. But I have another thing on this, and that's just the UI and what SSO is doing with all their UIs. Like, please, what is going on?
Yeah.
And it's just like every time I'm making an outfit, if it's like dark outside, my eyes are screaming for help because it's painful to look at and it's so bright. It's annoying.
I agree. I hate the new UI in every way possible. And I feel like there are things that they could have done better for the inventory. I don't hate, like, I think it's a good start. It's a good starting place. But I hope that I think that they are still coming up with ways to improve it. It's not done yet. This was just the first wave. And I hope that they stick to that statement and make it better. Like,
I feel like they should have worked a little more on the first wave, but yeah, I'm
I don't
looking
know.
forward to
I don't
it
agree
being
with
better.
that. Yeah.
You don't? Really?
No, because as someone who is a freaking hoarder, like, I was running out of space, and they kept releasing festivals, they kept releasing new things, and I was running out of storage. Like, I couldn't buy new things. I'm glad that they at least gave us something so that I can now, like, buy new things.
Yeah, okay, I get that. I understand.
And there are people who have their inventories more full than I do. Like, people were having overflow into their backpack, and that's all the inventory space they had. Which maybe
It's good that we get more space.
yeah, maybe we need to address why we're hoarders like that, but that's another thing, and mind your freaking business. Okay, guys, that's the end of the responses. Thank you so much for your responses. I can't even take the credit, me put the form out, so thank you, me, for doing
Yes,
that.
Of course.
And thank you guys for responding. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't kill us for any controversial opinions, okay? We're just girls. So.
In my dookie outfit, please don't.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!
Bye!